Good afternoon, students. I am Miss Ostina and I'll be taking topic thermodynamics. So, where all is thermodynamics applied? Basically, thermodynamics is the study of conversion, work, and energy, where you can say heat is converted in form of work and other ways round. Basically, the concepts of heat, work, temperature, all this are studied under a broad topic that is thermodynamics. Now, thermodynamics has a wide range of applications. That is, it can be used in sciences, engineering, physical chemistry, biochemistry, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, and lots of other fields. It has application in complex physics fields as well. For example, meteorology. Let us go with a few points that we need to go through this chapter. We all know heat is a form of energy. When you have to do some certain work, heat needs to be converted to do the work on a system. Here, to sum it up all, thermodynamics can be said as a branch of physics that deals with concepts such as heat, temperature, work, and their interconversions in one form or the another form of energy. To understand the topic in depth, we need to understand some basic concepts. Let's start with the thermal equilibrium concept. Now, here, when you say heat, it is the difference in temperature that is what we are measuring. So, when heat is transferred from one substance to another, how does it process? We all know the example. Let's say there's a bucket of water, cold water for example. When you start pouring hot water, the total amount of water will become lukewarm. Now, the hot water and the cold water have come to an equal level or a same level. So, here we can say that heat has transferred from a higher temperature, a substance that's water here, hot water, higher temperature, to that of lower temperature. It will continue until both the level of heat are at same levels. The content of the heat is at same level. When we take two objects at the same temperature, then they can be said that these two are in thermal equilibrium. Let's say I take two glasses of hot water, then both of these glasses are at thermal equilibrium. Let us proceed to the next topic. Zeroth law of thermodynamics. Now, this is the first time I guess you have heard there is a zeroth law. Yes, there's a funny story behind it. First, second, and the third law were given earlier, and then there was a discovery about this, so it is called as a zeroth law. Let us go through the statement. If two systems are in thermal equilibrium with a third system, they are also in thermal equilibrium with each other. Now, let us go a bit of mathematics here. We know if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A will also be equal to C. Same analogy is applied here in the zeroth law of thermodynamics. That is, if the first system, say system A and system B, are in thermal equilibrium with each other, and B, that is the second system, and the third system, say C, are in thermal equilibrium with each other, then the first system, that is A, and the third system, that is C, are also going to be in thermal equilibrium with each other. Here we can see application of zeroth law in the use of thermometer. How does a thermometer show the temperature? it comes in thermal equilibrium with the surrounding it is placed in, and then we get the reading of the temperature that we are trying to measure. So this law is applied in our daily applications of thermometer. Let us go further. Heat, internal energy and work. Now, internal energy. When you say internal, what does that mean? It is something that is deep inside, related to molecules of that system. We can define internal energy as it is energy associated with random disordered motion of the molecules of the system. It is when the molecules are not aligned, they are randomly oriented, very disoriented, and the energy related to that is called as internal energy. It is denoted by U. This notations we will be using further when we have derivations and all. So please remember the concept and the denotation or the notation for that. Now, what's the next topic here is thermodynamic system. When you say a system, what is basically a system here? A collection of objects or a group of objects. You can say it as a system or the thing. For example, let us take an example. A water is kept in a kettle or a vessel. Here, the water, that is a group of substance or object, that is a system. The vessel is a surrounding of or surrounding in which the boundary in which the substance is kept, and the outside environment of the vessel is called as a surrounding. Three important concepts in this topic. First is the system. What is that we are measuring? What, with respect to what properties are changing? What is the substance? What is the object? That is called the system. In which or what it is holding shape in, it is the boundary, and the outside environment is called the surrounding. Let's move to the next part. Types of thermodynamic system. Now when you consider what is a system, there are different systems here. For example, we'll consider three systems: open system, closed system and isolated system. We'll be giving examples for each of them and how this is going to change the further processes. Let's start with the open system. An open system is a system that freely allows the exchange of energy and matter with the environment. Let us take an example of water boiling in a kettle. Now here, when the water is boiling continuously, there will be heat that is exchanged, also the steam that rises out of the water. Now when you say steam, it is the matter that is going in the surrounding, whereas the heat is the form of energy. So when you say it is an open system, there is exchange of two things, that is heat which is passed in the surrounding air and steam which is passed in the air in the form of moisture. Next is a closed system. Here there is no exchange of matter, but there can be exchange of energy. So we'll take an example, the same example. Let's say water is boiling in a boiler now. Earlier it was a kettle, now this is a boiler. Here steam, which is the matter, it is not allowed to escape because the boiler is a closed system, but heat can heat can escape the system. So here heat is able to exchange, but the steam is kept trapped or it is kept in a closed container like the boiler, and therefore it is not able to go outside in the surrounding. There is no exchange of steam, that is the matter. Now let us move to the next part, isolated system. Here, the completely sealed system, it is not able to exchange heat or energy, neither it is able to escape the matter. It is completely isolated from the environment. Both heat and matter cannot be exchanged with the environment. You can take example of thermoflask. We use this system in our day-to-day lives. We can see that when you keep hot water in a thermoflask, it remains hot for a long amount of time because it is sealed, packed completely, and there is no exchange of heat or energy. So we'll go through this once again. Three types of system. First is open, where heat, which is a form of energy, and matter, that is the steam, can be exchanged. Second type of system is closed. Here matter cannot escape, whereas heat can be exchanged. And the third type is isolated system. Here heat cannot be exchanged, neither the matter. It is completely isolated from the environment. Let's go further. Thermodynamic processes. Now, when I say thermodynamic process, like we saw in an earlier slide, thermodynamic systems. When you say about a process, there is some change that is going to occur. Now, when you say a process, it is a continuous going on process. What are we actually measuring? What is changing in the process here? Here, the state of a system is changing. Now, when I say a state, what exact parameters am I talking about? There can be a change in the temperature, there can be change in pressure, the volume. All these concepts related to the system or the substance or the object in the system is going to change these parameters. Let's say a water is boiling, so the temperature of water is changing, the volume of water may change, the pressure that I am applying. Let's say the water is boiling in a boiler, so there's a lot of pressure there. All these parameters with respect to the system are going to change, and on the changes of these parameters, certain processes will be defined, and those processes are be called as thermodynamic processes. Let's go further. Heat. Now, as I talked earlier, heat is an integral part when you are going to study thermodynamic chapter. So what is basically heat? What are the notations that we are going to use so further in derivations and all? That will be going to study in this slide. Let's take an example. There's a glass of hot water sitting on a table. That is called as a system. A glass of hot water is our system. Here, the temperature of the system is denoted by T suffix S. The temperature denotation is capital T, whereas the small s is for the system. Temperature of the environment will be given by T suffix capital E. E for the environment, T for the temperature. Now, Ts and Te will not be same. When I say a glass of hot water, naturally the temperature of the water, that is the temperature of the system, will be higher than that of the environment around it. The room temperature may be normal room temperature, whereas the water is having a higher temperature. Hence, Ts, that is the temperature of the system, will change until both Ts and Te are at the same or both are in thermal equilibrium. This is a common daily life example we see every day. If we take a glass of hot water, keep it for some time, after certain time, let's say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it will come down to normal room temperature. This means that the temperature of the system, which was higher than that of the environment, came down gradually until it was equal or both the temperature were same, that is both the systems are now in thermal equilibrium. Let us go further. Energy transfer between system and environment. Now we are going to see some cases how there is transfer of energy between the system and the surrounding environment. Let's take the first case. Here, energy of the system is lower, whereas the energy of the environment is higher. Here, the system will gain the energy or absorb the energy. Let's take an example here. A glass of cold water is kept. Now, the glass of cold water is at lower temperature, whereas the surrounding temperature, that's the room temperature, is higher. So now it will come down to that temperature. Coming down to that temperature of the room temperature, of the system temperature, has to be gain the energy. It has to take energy from the environment to come to the level of the environment and achieve thermal equilibrium. Let us take the next case. Here, the system is at higher temperature. If you see, Ts is greater than Te, that is system temperature is higher, whereas the temperature of the environment is lesser. So when there is transfer of energy from the system to the environment, say for example glass of hot water, it comes down to the temperature of the environment, that is from being hot it comes down to normal room temperature. So system energy is transferred to the environment. This kind of transfer is called as negative transfer. Here the system loses the energy or the system releases the energy. So this type of transfer is called negative transfer, whereas the first case it was called as positive transfer. Case number 3. The system and the environment are in thermal equilibrium and there is no transfer of energy. Here we can take example a glass of normal water, room temperature. The water is at room temperature and I am keeping it on the table. Then there will be no exchange of energy here. Hence, this type of transfer is called as no transfer of energy. Let's see once again. First case, positive type of transfer. The system gains energy. Example of cold water. Second case, negative transfer. The system loses its energy to the environment. And third, there is no transfer of energy. Let's take the concept of heat. What is heat? It is energy that is transferred between the system and the environment. It is due to the temperature difference that exists between the two. It is denoted by U. When there is transfer of energy, you see, then the heat concept is introduced. Okay, so we'll stop here until the concept of heat and we'll continue with the next slide from the next lecture. Thank you.